the top 5 most mysterious unexplained hoaxes of all time. Humans are born with 2 natural fears, loud noises and falling. But throughout history, another fear seems to have emerged within every society and person capable of fear, the fear of the unknown. Number 5. Roanoke, the Lost Colony. The Roanoke Colony on Roanoke Island in present-day North Carolina was a late 16th century attempt by Queen Elizabeth I to establish a permanent English settlement. The original founder, Sir Humphrey Gilbert, drowned mysteriously in 1583. After Sir Walter Raleigh obtained the charter, the colonists suffered through starvation and cold winters, while more and more showed up to take the dead's places. The final group of colonists mysteriously disappeared during the English-Spanish War, 3 years after the last shipment of supplies from England. The entire colony seemed to have vanished into thin air. The only trace of their disappearance was a tree that had a single word carved into it, Croatoan. Their disappearance gave rise to the nickname the Lost Colony. People have formulated multiple hypotheses as to the fate of the colonists. Some believe the colonists of Roanoke were attacked by Indians and took shelter with a different tribe, and ended up staying with them. Others believe the whole town moved and was later destroyed, but no sign of another colony was found within any proximity to Roanoke. Others believe that the colonists grew tired of waiting for supplies and perished on their way back to England. Some extremists even go as far to say that aliens abducted the colonists and never brought them back. But to this day, there has been no conclusive evidence as to what happened to the colonists, and still no one has been able to decipher the meaning of that one mysterious word, Croatoan. Number 4. Monsters. The first one, the Loch Ness Monster. The largest body of fresh water in Britain, Loch Ness Lake, has been the site of mystery ever since the 6th century AD, when people started reporting seeing a long, lizard-like figure in the water. The first recorded sighting of Nessie on land was made by Mr. Spicer and his wife in 1933 when they were driving down the road between Loch Ness side villages. They caught sight of a large cumbersome animal crossing the road ahead, which was some 20 yards from the water. They then first saw the long neck forming a number of arches a little thicker than an elephant's trunk and a huge lumbering body heading towards the loch. It disappeared into the bushes out of sight. Speculators began to offer rewards for anyone who could catch this monster, dead or alive. The last reported sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was on Wednesday, the 15th of June, 2011, when shop owner cafe owner Jan Hargraves and her husband Simon reportedly saw the beast. The existence of the Loch Ness Monster has never been confirmed, though many claim to have seen it. Number 2. The Chupacabra. The Chupacabra is rumored to inhabit parts of the Americas, with the first sightings reported in Puerto Rico. The name comes from the animal's reported habit of attacking and drinking the blood of livestock, especially goats. Physical descriptions of the creature vary. It is purportedly a heavy creature, the size of a small bear with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. Eyewitness sightings have been claimed as early in 1995 in Puerto Rico and have since been reported as far north as Maine and as far south as Chile, and even have been spotted outside the Americas in countries like Russia and the Philippines. Biologist Barry O'Connor concluded that the Chupacabra reports in the United States were simply coyotes affected with the parasite Sarcoptes scabi, the symptoms of which would most likely explain the features of the Chupacabra. They would be left with little fur, thickened skin, and rank odor. Many supposed Chupacabra attacks happen throughout the world daily, yet this beast has not been confirmed to be real. Number 3. Bigfoot. We've all heard the name and scary stories whilst camping. Bigfoot. You call him what you want, a Yeti, a Sasquatch, or normally, Bigfoot. This creature has been rumored to be haunting the forests of America since the early 1920s. Bigfoot is rumored to be a huge, sometimes 8 feet tall, ape-human hybrid that leaves huge footprints easy to follow. Many believe Bigfoot is a harmless creature that means no harm, yet some scientists believe that Bigfoot is vicious and will leave no mercy. The reports and credibility of Bigfoot have become hugely popular when certain photos were released showing a picture of a huge ape-like creature rumored to be Bigfoot. To this day, many go on excursions into the woods in order to catch this beast in its natural habitat, always wanting to be the one to take the snapshot revealing the beast. Although there cannot be just one Bigfoot because of a massive number of sightings, many believe the Sasquatch is a different species of an animal, yet in order for this species to continue, there would need to be a large amount of them to reproduce and carry on, making it hard to be secretive. Number 3. The Bermuda Triangle. Stretching from Miami to Florida to Puerto Rico and the Bermudas, the Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is a loosely defined region in the western part of North Atlantic Ocean, where a number of aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Popular culture has attributed various disappearances to paranormal activity by extraterrestrial beings. The earliest allegation of unusual disappearances in the Bermuda area happened in September 1950 in an article published in the Miami Herald by Edward Van Winkle Jones. 2 years later, Fate magazine published Sea Mystery at Our Back Door, a short article by George X. Stand covering the loss of several planes and ships, including the loss of Flight 19, a group of 5 U.S. Navy TBM Avenger bombers on a training mission. Author Alan W. Eckert wrote that the flight leader had been heard saying, "We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green. No, white." He also wrote that officials in the Navy Board of Inquiry stated that the planes flew off to Mars. Many believe that Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, never to be seen again. Other notable disappearances include, but are not limited to, Ellen Austin, the USS Cyclops, Carol A. Deering, Star Tiger, Star Ariel, KC-135 Stratotankers, and Connemara 4. All of these ships and planes have one thing in common. They all went down and disappeared within the borders of the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Triangle writers have used a number of supernatural concepts to explain the events. One explanation pins the blame on leftover technology from the mythical lost continent of Atlantis. Others attribute the events to UFOs. Many other issues within the Bermuda Triangle consist of compass and human error, Gulf streams, methane hydrates, and violent weather. But is it a coincidence that all of these errors coincide within the borders of the Triangle? Many argue that the powers of the Triangle and vow to never enter its borders. Others believe it to be a hoax and often test their luck. Would it be worth it to you to risk it? Number 2. Aliens. Area 51. Originally an abandoned Air Force, Area 51 has sparked the interest of the population of America interested in one subject: aliens. Located just north of Las Vegas, Nevada, Area 51 is blockaded by barbed wire fences, 60,000 square acres of land, and armed guards funded by the federal government in order to protect its secrets. What things could our government be hiding that would require so much protection? Many think it to be nuclear weapons, biological weapons, aeronautics equipment, or technological advancements. But most, when Area 51 is mentioned, jump immediately to extraterrestrial beings and technology. Area 51 is rumored to be an extraterrestrial highway and hold many UFOs being reverse engineered in order to see how they are worked and built. Some even go as far as to say that alien beings are being held and even studied and dissected within the walls of Area 51. Certain people such as Bob Lazar, Bruce Burgess, and Dan Biersch, who worked within Area 51, have come out to announce their involvement in the Extraterrestrial Activity Department. President Bill Clinton was the first president in our history of the country to acknowledge the existence of Area 51, even though Soviet bird's-eye view pictures had revealed the location and truth of the area years before. People who work in Area 51 have taken an oath of secrecy for life and leave to work in a secret location underground sometimes, where even their wives and husbands don't know what they're up to. Could such secrecy really mean nothing serious is happening in this notoriously alien-ridden area? Crop circles. Since becoming the focus of widespread media attention in the 1980s, crop circles have become the subject of speculation by various paranormal, ufological, and animalistic investigators, ranging from proposals that they were created by bizarre meteorological phenomena to messages from extraterrestrial beings. Many crop circles have been found near sites such as Stonehenge. They also have been found near mounds of earth and stones raised over graves. Some seerologists think that crop circles are caused by ball lightning and that the patterns are so complex they have to be controlled by some entity. Some proposed entities are Gaia asking to stop global warming and human pollution, God, supernatural beings, and the collective minds of humanity through a proposed quantum field or extraterrestrial beings. Many others believe aliens and their UFOs to blame. UFOs. UFOs, standing for unidentified flying objects, have been reportedly sighted throughout history, dating back to even 240 BC in China. UFOs often are sometimes an element of conspiracy theories in which governments are allegedly and intentionally covering up the existence of aliens by removing physical evidence of their presence or even collaborating with the extraterrestrial beings. During the late 1940s and 1950s, UFOs were often referred to popularly as flying saucers or flying discs. Today, UFOs have widely become used to reference alien activity and refer to flying saucers with tractor beams that often abduct livestock and even people, sometimes probing them in the process. Number 1. The Lost City of Atlantis. A fictional continent devised by Plato, it has been mentioned within an allegory in his works Timaeus and Critias, representing the antagonist naval power that besieges ancient Athens, the pseudo-historic embodiment of Plato's ideal state. In the story, Athens was able to repel the attack, unlike any other nation in the Western world, supposedly giving testament to the superiority of Plato's concept of the state. At the end of the story, Atlantis eventually falls out of favor with the gods and famously submerges in the Atlantic Ocean. Since Donnelly's day, there have been dozens of locations proposed for Atlantis, to the point where the name has become a generic concept, divorced of the specifics of Plato's account. As continental drift became more widely accepted during the 1960s and the increased understanding of plate tectonics demonstrated the impossibility of a lost continent in the geologically recent past, most lost continent theories of Atlantis began to wane in popularity. Many believe that today that Atlantis, once sunk, became the ideal city for mermaids and mermen living underwater in harmony together. Popular culture portrays this idea, keeping the mer people in customary Greek attire, with brass shields and statues to the gods in full. Atlantis rumors have begun to die down, but with the wreckage being uncovered every now and then, the popularity is beginning to grow widespread again. Was Atlantis real? Are there mer people living undetected underwater in a city? You decide for yourself.